Hey guys, so just posting a quick thread response to Bigstar1000's new thread question. It's his first one, so check it out. Great questions. I'm going to try and run through these fast. I find that I run out of time, so I'm going to try and do this quickly. So tell a sad record story. The first one that comes to mind, I probably have a couple, but I bought an original copy of Generic Flipper for $1 at a flea market, and I don't know how common that record is in original, but the record was perfect except it had a slight warp in the record, and one of my pet peeves is a warp in a record. But it was still playable. It wasn't bad at all. But one day I had it out. I had it for a little while, but I took the record out, was just holding it and kind of like playing with the warp for some reason. And the record just kind of, I don't know why, I wasn't applying that much pressure. Maybe it was just the way I was holding it, but the record just snapped in my hand. And that was the end of that. So it kind of bothered me. I could think of maybe a couple more, but not along that line. Store closings and things like that. But anyway, 3 best records I bought for $1. I probably have a bunch of records I bought for $1, but I just picked out a couple quick ones. I might even have better ones, but these are good examples, I guess. I picked up a long time ago, Never Mind the Bullocks for $1. Great copy. Has the original sleeve, and just, hey, good find for $1. So that's one. This album here, I know I didn't pay any more than $3 for, but I'll show it anyway. The replacements, again, probably show this in every video, but it is a fantastic album, and for the price that I got it, I mean, it's probably not the rarest record in the world, but it's on Twin Tone. That's the only place you could get it on vinyl, is on the Twin Tone label. But there you go. If you don't have that, I can't recommend enough you check that out. But anyway, jazz record. I got into jazz through Charlie Parker and these early bebop guys. So this is Lester Young, Charlie Parker, and Dizzy Gillespie. It's called Early Modern, 1946 recording. So it's a live show, and the recording quality is not the greatest, but it's not bad. I just like the playing on this. So yeah, for $1, can't beat that. I think I bought this in like I want to say Boston. I went record shopping in Boston, and one of the finds I found. This one might be up there with that Flipper record I was talking about. This is the Dead Kennedys, Frankenchrist, an original copy. Alternative Tentacles. Great album, great find for $1. In great condition too. No ring wear, no nothing. I'm pretty sure it's an original. I don't know how many pressings there were of this, but it has the original sleeve. And the record's just in great condition, so I mean, I think this is a pretty good find for $1. I don't know though. Could be pretty common. And this one, very common. You could probably buy it to this day for $1. But when I bought it, I was just so into the Police, so I thought it was cool. I just love this album, Zenyatta Mondatta by the Police. I mean, very common, but great album. So there you go. 3 live LPs where you wish you were in attendance. I pulled out a few, but I can't have obviously list a live show or live album without Neil Young. So this is Neil Young live, 1971 at Massey Hall, and this was just a fantastic performance, the whole thing. Solo acoustic. This is Neil playing most of the Harvest material before Harvest came out, so all these songs were new and nobody had heard them. But it doesn't get much better than this. He was really on that night, and just to see Neil in the 70s, just fantastic. So I would love to have been there. The Grateful Dead, live Dead. Again, to see the Grateful Dead in the 60s, early on, would have just been awesome, I'm sure. And this great live album, that first record, you got Dark Star on one side and then St. Stephen and the 11 on the other. Just a great record. And then the other one, Love Light, Death Don't Have No Mercy, and We Bid You Goodnight. Great live album. This is an original with the green label. I have 2 copies, 2 originals of this. But I do like this album a lot. Nice gatefold. It's in good condition. I would have loved to have seen the Grateful Dead period I didn't get to. I saw them after Jerry had died. But before that, I was just kind of too young when Jerry died. But anyway. The MC5. Kick Out the Jams. Another band I would have loved to have seen live. I mean, these guys are just quintessential rock and roll band. Balls to the wall, just the energy and excitement. I mean, to see Wayne Kramer and Fred Sonic Smith, it just would have been awesome. I mean, it's just too bad. But yeah, a friend pointed out to me, it's true, when you listen to this, there's all this screaming going on by just random members of the band, and it just shows the excitement and the energy. And a few videos back, I showed that bootleg DVD that I had of that documentary about the MC5. Check that out. I can't recommend that enough. If you don't know about the MC5, this will give you a whole different perspective on them, or introduce you to them. But what a band. I can't think of the title off the top of my head, but yeah, it was a great documentary. And this, I won't call one of my answers, but I gotta throw it in. Woodstock. I mean, who wouldn't have wanted to have been at Woodstock, right? Awesome. Okay. Best concerts ever. So this will kind of lead me into this question. Again, I know I've mentioned this before, but Neil Young's Year of the Horse. 2 of the songs on here were from a show I saw in 1996. I've talked about it before, but I just think it's the coolest thing. That it's like my favorite show that I've been to, and 2 tracks are on here on official release. The first song, When You Dance, at the beginning of the record you hear Neil say, they all sound the same, it's all one song. Like, I remember that like clear as day from the show, so that's freaking cool. And the other song, I'm pretty sure it's Scattered. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If it's not Scattered, then Slip Away. But that's cool. So that was one of my favorite shows. Another thing about this cover is that what they're wearing was what they're wearing at the show. So I don't know if this is a photograph. They were filming Year of the Horse, so they could have just been wearing the same outfits for just continuity. But yeah, great show. Also, I gotta say, again, Neil Young live, 1999, solo acoustic, fantastic. When I was 15, I saw Jimmy Page and Robert Plant at 15, and it was all Zeppelin. This is just a tour program from the tour that they did in 1995. It's like no quarter thing that they did. And all Zeppelin, they opened up with the Wonton song, and it was just unbelievable. It was the coolest thing. I gotta look up a set list just to remember all the songs that they played, but they played Going to California. I remember that was unbelievable. So, and actually another concert, as you can tell, probably most of my favorite concerts with the best memories were like my first ones, the early ones. Just are, I mean, usually going with like my friends, and it was also new, so I don't know. Another one would be Rush. The same weekend that I saw that Neil show in 1996, I saw Rush. Now, Neil and Rush in the same weekend, it was just unbelievable. They just played a fantastic show, and we had kind of lousy seats on the side. So we moved to the very back of this arena, the very last row, far back as you could go, and we loved it. I don't know, it was just great. It was like 5 of my buddies. And a more recent show, I went to Little Steven's Underground Garage Festival, and it was, if you're familiar with Steven Van Zandt from the E Street Band, he's got a radio program where he plays mostly garage rock, punk rock, Little Steven's Underground Garage. I went to Little Steven's Underground Garage Festival at Randall's Island, and it was such a cool show. It was Iggy Pop, Iggy and the Stooges headlining, but you also had the Pretty Things, the New York Dolls, the new New York Dolls, Bo Diddley, Nancy Sinatra, the Strokes. Bruce Springsteen was actually there, but he didn't play, unfortunately. He just introduced a couple bands. But I gotta look up a list of all the bands, because there was like 100 bands. And they all played real short sets, or one song in some cases. But it was a really cool show, and Iggy, to this day, is just still an animal, and just puts on a hell of a performance. And I'm glad I got to see Ron Ashton before he passed away. So, I think that was 5 shows, so I could name more, but I've been to a lot of shows. So, okay, 10 songs that either changed your life or you can't live without. These are 10 songs I guess I can't live without. Actually, 20 songs I can't live without. Impossible question to answer, because there's no way I could ever really answer it, so I just named 20 songs that I love. Tomorrow I'll probably be pissed that I left stuff out, or that I included some of these, or it's just an impossible question to answer, so I'll just read these. Fourth Time Around by Bob Dylan. Andy Warhol by David Bowie. No Sugar Tonight and New Mother Nature by the Guess Who. 10 Years Gone by Led Zeppelin. Cortez the Killer by Neil Young. Look Out for My Love by Neil Young. Cowgirl in the Sand by Neil Young. Carmudgeon by Nirvana. Also Breed by Nirvana. I Will Dare by The Replacements. Dead Flowers by the Rolling Stones. Here She Comes Now by the Velvet Underground. Nirvana actually does a good cover of that too. Also, I'll count this as one. On the Merkin Ball single by Pearl Jam and Neil Young. I Got Id and Long Road. 13 Message in a Bottle by the Police. 14 Clancy Can't Even Sing. Nowadays Clancy Can't Even Sing. Neil Young, Buffalo Springfield. Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix. What's My Name by The Clash. You Can't Put Your Arm Around the Memory, Johnny Thunders. 18 Dear Prudence by the Beatles. 19 Mean Streets by Van Halen. And 20 Hand of Doom by Black Sabbath. So those are my songs. Again, impossible to really... These aren't favorites. They're just songs I thought of that I couldn't live without. So, there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please comment. Let me know what's up, and I've been enjoying everybody's videos. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Take care.